Bring in a member of the House Armed Services Committee, Republican Congressman from North Carolina, Pat Harrigan. Congressman, great to have you on the show. Even if the U.S. gets involved in this, and that's an if, this is not about regime change. It is about no nuclear weapons. Your thoughts?
That's exactly right. And I think that's an incredibly important distinction. If members of Congress, both in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, have not learned anything from the last 25 years of failed conflicts in the global war on terror, foreign interventions, color revolutions, it's that forced regime change does not work. That is not the intention here, despite what we've heard across many national media outlets this evening. I know that President Trump campaigned on no new wars, and he's doing everything that he can to bring this to a diplomatic resolution. Now, he's doing that by using strength and the threat of force, but I think we still have diplomatic off-ramps here.
Meantime, Congressman Thomas Massie wrote the following here on X. I just introduced an Iran war powers resolution with Ro Khanna to prohibit U.S. involvement in the Israel-Iran war. This is not our war. Even if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution. What would you say to Congressman Massie?
Well, look, Thomas is a friend of mine, and I'll tell you, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of the Constitution is very clear. Simultaneously, there's also a different practice, and the War Powers Act of 1973 requires that the executive branch provide notice to Congress within 48 hours of a commitment of troops to a conflict. And if Congress does not approve the persistent use of those troops in that conflict, they must be redeployed within 60 days. I think right now, though, looking at what Thomas wants to do, we should not be handcuffing President Trump and taking options off the table from him in the eyes of our adversaries. That is the worst thing that we could do right now when actually trying to achieve a diplomatic solution.
I've only got a few seconds left, Congressman, but what about these arguments that Iran is not as close as a lot of people think they are to actually developing a nuclear weapon?
That does not match the intelligence that I've seen, and I can tell you as someone who's been on the wrong side of American intelligence on the battlefield, I'm one of the most critical eyes to the intelligence community in Congress, but that does not match my understanding of where Iran is in their capabilities. And so we've got very narrow windows in which to act. I think very clearly both Israel and President Trump have stated jointly that intelligence changed within the last several weeks, and that's precipitated the action that Israel has taken.
A lot of smart people agree with that. Congressman, thank you for your time.